Hi there, Shay here. This is going to be like a part 2 of my first video, more of a get to know me. Thank you for those that have come back and welcome to those that are new. I'm Shay and this is my official, my second video. So I apologize for the glare with my glasses, but it's a beautiful sunny day here. And so I'm sitting by the window just enjoying some sun and yeah, I don't even have a light pad on or any lights at all. So let me just, now that I've said hi, let me bring us down and let me talk about some things that have been going on today. And then this video is mainly going to be about my time living in China. I know I had one of my subscribers / friends ask if I would talk more about that. So yeah, I'd cover more details of what it was like to live there. First of all, this morning was, let me talk about what we're working on first. So I have one section left of this painting and I just have this area right here. You can see just that's left, which is good because I've got a new painting that's supposed to arrive today. I've got Fuji Flora from DAC coming. So I'm super excited about that one. One of my friends on YouTube, You Can Call Me Butter, Randy, unboxed it and it's absolutely gorgeous. And once I tell you about my stories from China, you'll kind of get an understanding and an idea of, why I, chose that canvas. So I probably won't be kitting it up quite yet. I will do a kit up video and an unboxing video when I get back. And that's one thing we're going to talk about now. So once we talk about this, so here's my canvas, almost done. It's a Diamond Art Club. It's a Mandy Manzano. It's called Jade's Treasure. It's a 52 by 52. I know I've talked about it on my first video, but I do have this magnetic desk cover from IKEA that I love, 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 love. You can just tell I have my painting pinned down with magnets all around it. It just keeps it from moving. So I will link that in the bottom in the comments of the video, or not in the comments, in the description. And so y'all can see that if you're interested in it. I do have my Bella Art de Nicole rose gold tray and Diamond Pen Pal, my fun yellow sparkly pen. It's got the no roll stop, so it doesn't go anywhere. I am using micro glue dots in my pen. And Jenny, the Uncrafty Crafter, did a tutorial in her video. And gosh, they last a long time, a really long time. So I am loving it. When I first loaded them into my pen though, they were taking my drills out and just taking them with them. So I kind of had a hard time with it being a little too sticky, but now that it's dirtied up, it's gotten a lot better. Let's see what else. Oh, I use good old pink wax in my multi-placer. It works, so that's what I use. And of course, I've got my little trash tray. This came from I forget where I got this, but it's got the magnet on the bottom. So I will link that in there, and the pen, and of course, tweezers. And I've got coffee, of course. Got one of the places that we visited. We always stopped at a Starbucks and always got, collected on our travels when we were in China. We always grab one of the coffee cups. All right. So before we start talking about China, I was going to tell you how my morning's gone so far. Took the kids to school. They all three go to 3 different schools, so that's always fun. 3 different start times, 3 different schools. Got that done. So spring break is next week, and we're going to be out of town. We're going to visit the mouse, so we're going to Walt Disney World. So that means, and it's in Florida, so that's warm weather. That means shorts and flip-flops and, t-shirts. Now, I haven't put on a pair of shorts in over a year. And of course, the year that we've had, the quarantine 15s happened. So yeah, I was digging through my clothes, trying to find shorts that fit. And that was just so depressing. Nothing fit. So I think I'm just going to go with leggings. Just some capri leggings, I think, is what we're going to do at this point. Because I definitely don't want to go shopping for new shorts. Because, of course, I hope to get this weight off at some point. So I don't want to spend the money on new shorts. So yeah, that was fun. Plus my legs have not seen the sun in over a year. So they're super white and I'm going to have shorts on. And then if we do a pool day, I've got to wear a bathing suit. I mean, we thought the shorts were bad, and we have to wear a bathing suit. And then we have to wear flip-flops. My toes are so bad. I haven't had a pedicure in over a year. I haven't had my hair colored in over a year. I've been coloring it myself. So it's like all different shades of blonde and brown. Like I said, pedicure, manicure, toes, nails, everything is just in bad shape. So this is going to be fun. I can't say I'm really, prepared for it, but it will be. I'm a little nervous about, getting on an airplane and, traveling, but we feel like it was somewhat safe enough to do it. And my kids have gotten really, we all know the routine. We all know the drill. We all know, mask, face washing, just the whole deal. So we're going to try it, see how it goes, and we'll go from there. So yeah, you won't get a video from me next week because I will be gone. So I thought I would give you a part 2 to get to know me. And yeah, we'll talk about China. And I've got some fun little pictures. It's like a show and tell that I can explain to you. So we moved to China in March of 2014 because of my husband's job. So that took us there. Now going into it, it was only supposed to be for a year. And I thought, you can do anything for a year. That's not, if we don't like it, it's just a year. So here we go, packing up ourselves, 3 small children. The kids were a lot, younger then. So we thought now's the time to do it if we're going to do it. And what a great opportunity for them, to travel and, see a different part of the world. So we were moving into a fully furnished apartment, so we didn't have to worry about furniture. So trying to figure out what you want to take with you for 1 year, because you're not sure if you're going to come back or not for Christmas or for the summers. You just don't know until you get there. We packed up 15 bags. Let me show you. We decided to pack up a year's worth of our life, I guess, and just live with these 15 bags. Everything that was in these bags for a year. And we kind of were like, you know what? If there's anything else we need, we'll just buy it. So this was us at the airport heading out, which was crazy. So we lived in Shanghai. And it's a really populated, a really, really big city in China. And this is the Pearl Tower, which is one of the, everybody knows the Pearl Tower. It's very famous. It's been in a lot of movies, and, it's kind of one of the things everybody's familiar with. China. Yeah, I don't know if you, sorry about that. That's my husband's phone ringing. Yeah, I was walking to school to pick up my daughter, and this is what you see. If they can't find parking, they just go where they want. It was, yeah, you saw a lot of that. Also, it would not be unusual to see something like this. I'm sorry, I feel like we're getting a glare from, okay, that's a lot better. I think I'm gonna, well, you can still see it. It's reflecting off the screen. It's our pergola that we have outside in the backyard. Hope y'all can see these pictures. But yeah, this is just a guy just biking down the street, and he's got boxes and, cardboard and, pallets, and it was very normal to see that. Oh yes, and this. So a lot of the kids in China, they just squat and go to the bathroom wherever. It's not illegal to urinate in public there. A lot of kids don't wear diapers. So they just, that's how they potty train. And so you'll see a lot of these, and it's called split pants. And a lot of the kids were wearing them. Also, that's my daughter right there. We were at a store called Carrefour, and it was almost like a Walmart. Gosh, that was the one thing about living over there. We looked different than everybody else. And so they were just enamored with my daughter, especially because she has curly hair and, lighter eyes. And they just wanted, but you would get stared out a lot, which, could be a little uncomfortable at times, but you got used to it. You almost felt like a celebrity. It was kind of weird. But they always asked if they, if they could give her a hug or if they could take a picture with us. And we got a lot of that. And all my kids were really good sports. And I would always ask them first, do you feel comfortable? Do you want to do this? And it was really up to them. But all the kids definitely got used to it. There was a lot of picture taking with strangers. Here's another guy, just the styrofoam man, styrofoam man just on his bike, just with the big pallets of styrofoam. You would see this a lot. This is how they just, transported their recycling. Yeah, so I have a lot of pictures of that. Let's see what else we have. Oh, yes. So we're going to start a little story here about this. So this was my very first picture. We were at IKEA and we had to buy some things that we needed for the apartment. My husband just said, go over there and take a picture with him. And I said, no. And he said, go on. So I did it. And because you would see people sleeping everywhere in China, all over the beds, couches, sidewalks. I mean, they just take naps wherever. They eat lunch and they just sleep. And they sleep wherever they can find. So it started a trend. And I actually have a frame that's got some of the pictures that I have in there of, and it's called Shanghai Sleepers. And it became this thing that one of my friends that I'd met there, we just started it and just started taking lots of pictures. So that's just one of them. Here's another one. It became something fun to do while we were out and about. Yeah, this guy's just chilling, just sleeping on a bike. You would see a lot of this. Oh, we'll get back to that in a second. Oh yeah, here's another one. She's actually sleeping. She looks like she's trying to hide her face, but she's sleeping. It was so fun. Oh, I went out. Let me show you. Okay, here's another guy. He was sleeping. Yeah, just, So it was fun. And then my dad made a really cool picture frame for me. I don't know if y'all can see that. But of some of the ones that I had, done over my time there. This guy was funny. He was just on a bench sleeping. I mean, you name it. But anywhere there was a store where there were beds, they would be sleeping. So I have this framed and in my room. So yeah, the picture that I went past that I was going to go back and show you guys was while we were there, I did the Great Wall of China, the half marathon in Beijing. So that was something on my bucket list that I really wanted to do. So that's a picture of the night before. I'd gotten my number and I was ready to go. And then there I am. And there's the Great Wall behind me. It really wasn't a running marathon because it was mainly stairs. So it was just a lot of, just climbing. And you had to take your time and you had to go slow. So I definitely wasn't trying to beat, any records or, trying to go fast. I was just trying to complete it and not hurt myself. So that was so fun. So that's just some of the pictures I was going to show you guys. I hope the glare wasn't too much and you were able to see those. So I'll just talk a little bit more. I made some notes where I was just going to tell you guys about some fun stories about living over in Shanghai. Again, 1 year, 15 bags. We thought, okay, we can do this. We did decide to keep our house here. So it was nice knowing that if it didn't work out, and if we didn't, or when we wanted to come home, for any reason, that we had a house to come back to. So we did have, most of our household goods and everything in our house here in Texas. So my children did go to an international school there. It was amazing. That's one of the reasons why they didn't want to leave China, is because of that school. We were so lucky to find a school over there. They had Mandarin every day, so they learned some Chinese. They had it for 45 minutes a day, so they picked up on quite a bit. That's one of the questions that I get a lot when people, find out that we lived over there for 3 years, that they're like, do you speak Mandarin? I'm like, well, yeah, a little bit, enough to get by, for what we had to do. You don't drive over there. You have a driver. And we had a driver that did not speak any English. So I had to learn, and I had to do all the shopping and, all that. So I had to learn how to tell him, what stores I needed to go to. And if he didn't know where they were, I had to know, and plus if you're in a taxi, you have to know how to tell them to go left and right and straight and just, where you were going. So I know some of those things. I know some basics, let's just put it that way. But going into it, I thought it was only going to be for a year. So I never took any lessons. I was just exploring with some friends that I'd made over there. It was so fun. So I talked about the international school. Again, first year there, I thought, oh, it's only for a year. A lot of people had scooters there. Everybody scooters everywhere. And my husband's like, do you want a scooter? And I'm like, no, that they look scary. People drive crazy over here. I don't want to do it. So after our first year, we decided to stay another year, and I got a scooter. And I regret not getting a scooter the day that we got there. It was so fun to just, all my kids and I would fit on the scooter, and then my husband got one later, and we all would just, hop on and just go to a restaurant up the street because everything was really close by, or run up to the grocery store just to get a few things. And I didn't have to rely on the driver. I didn't have to call him and tell him what time to pick me up and where I wanted to go. You can just go. So it was a little bit of freedom that was really fun. Plus you got to see the city. Sometimes the sights and the smells were not great. It could be a little gross at times. Again, a lot of people smoke there. There's, like I said, urinating and just, it's just culturally different. And I learned that it's not wrong. It's just different. And that's one thing we learned. And we just learned to accept, which I'm really glad my kids, learn that. You just have to accept, different cultures do things differently. So I mentioned that we decided to stay another year. The reason why is because just imagine that first year, you are just acclimating yourself. You're figuring it out. You're, learning the lay of the land, and you're meeting all these wonderful people, and you're really getting close to friends. And then to pick up and leave after spending all that time and work after 1 year, we just weren't ready to go. So we stayed a second year. And what was really fun there too was Chinese New Year. Beautiful, beautiful displays in all the stores and the fireworks and all the red and the dragons. And it was just, they really go all out there. So we really, really enjoyed Chinese New Year. Whenever we moved back, we would make sure and, continue that tradition with the kids. Just kind of something special that we could do when we got back home. So, yep, Chinese New Year is actually going on right now. It was just a couple of weeks ago. So, happy Chinese New Year to all the folks that celebrate. So also, let's see, what else? I wrote some other notes. Oh, so I mentioned a driver. So we have a driver over there, but also a lot of people most people that were over there that were expats, they were expatriates. They have what's called an IE. And an IE is a housekeeper / nanny / you name it, they'll do it all. And so once we got, and that was one of the things my husband sold me on, going into it. He's like, you'll have a driver, you'll have a housekeeper. It's going to be, I was like, oh, okay, sign me up. I mean, that sounded like a good deal right there. So so I got to meet with the agency, and, kind of cheap, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money. So I didn't have to have someone that spoke English. So I thought, oh my gosh, it was so difficult trying to communicate with our IE, to what we needed cleaned and what we wanted, and she would watch my daughter. And my daughter was only 18 months old at the time. And, I didn't leave her at first, not until I trusted her. But when I did, I thought going into it, we were going to learn some Mandarin. That's how I looked at it. I'm like, okay, well, she doesn't speak, any English. That's fine. Maybe it'll help us with our Mandarin. Well, I think just the opposite happened. I think we were helping her with her English. My daughter was, saying things to her in English, and she started repeating them to me. So she definitely, it went both ways. My daughter definitely picked up on a lot of Mandarin from being with her, but she was a wonderful, sweet lady. She was part of our family. She was with us the entire time we were there. And it was so, so sad to say goodbye to her and our driver and, and our friends there, because, you don't have your family and friends here in the US, and you're over there in a country where, you Everything's different and it's a little scary. And one of our friends actually described it a certain way, and I thought it was really cool. He said, it's kind of like being off at college. You know, it's only for a few years and you become really close with people and party a lot and hang out a lot. And that's what we were doing. You know, every morning the moms and I would drop our kids off at school. We all went to the same school. We all lived in the same neighborhoods. There was a little expat bubble that we all lived in, like these compounds. And we would just, you know, go have coffee afterwards and decide what we were going to, you know, what we were going to do that day and what exploring and who was going to go where. And speaking of that, one of my favorite things about living over there was the fake market. Yes, fake Louis Vuitton, fake Lululemon, fake Nikes, you name it. Any top brand name item, they had the fake version of. It was underground, and it was only about 15 minutes from our house. And we had just some great days and time. We'd go about once a week, once every 2 weeks. We'd go quite a bit. And you had to haggle and negotiate. And, you know, it really helped our Mandarin. And it was just so fun to see how low you could get someone and walk away and see if they chase after you. Just, it was so fun. So the fake market was definitely a highlight of living over there, which I didn't, you know, it sounds so bad, but it was so fun. And a lot of the stuff is junk. I mean, obviously it's, you know, it's not well made. And I was always a little nervous about bringing it home. I didn't want to get in trouble, you know. So we didn't bring much home, but, you know, a lot of it we left there. And also another thing you would see over there is at the bottom of our apartment building, there was some restaurants down at the bottom. And there were people selling pirated DVDs. I mean, actually, they had been sitting in a movie theater, and you can hear people talking and coughing, and they were just selling the copies of the brand new movies that had just come out that were still in the theaters that you could get, you know, a DVD of. So that was a little sketchy, but you would see a lot of that. So yeah, there's just a lot of fake goods over there that, you know, you just have to be careful. But we had a lot of fun, just, you know, going over there and experiencing everything. I mean, I could go on and tell you so many different things, but I feel like, you know, I don't want to bore everybody, and, you know, but if you have any questions or, you know, if you've ever been to China, please, you know, leave them in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know about living over there, and, or if you've lived over there yourself, or if you visited. And another thing I forgot to touch on, I forgot to mention this, traveling. Wow, the traveling that we got to do when we were over there. So, you know, you're close to so many other, you know, places, and you're like, okay, if we're going to do it, we got to do it now. So let's see. We went to Hong Kong a couple of times. We visited Beijing, you know, for the marathon. We went to Bali, Thailand, Maldives, Japan. Where else? I was going to make a list, but I forgot to. I feel like I'm forgetting. Oh, Singapore. Went there. And while we were over there, the reason why we went to Singapore just reminded me, both of my boys played baseball. They had an American baseball league over there that the school had put together. So they still got to do a lot of the same things that, you know, they were used to doing at home. So that was really good. We didn't have a big gap in, you know, them playing sports. So they played baseball year round over there for the Shanghai Sluggers. And so there was a baseball tournament over Thanksgiving in Singapore. And so we went and did that. I really liked Singapore, really liked it. Japan, of course, was one of my favorites. We loved Bali. Bali, the people were so nice there. And also it wasn't very expensive. It was, you know, affordable. Some, you know, when you're talking about these exotic, you know, locations and places to go visit. But Bali was one of our favorites. Thailand, of course, was beautiful. Maldives was one of the things that, you know, one of the places that was on my husband's bucket list. He's like, you know, got to go to Maldives. And that's where you see, you know, like the huts over the water. I mean, the color of the water is amazing, just amazing, breathtaking. And one of the things that, speaking of travels, when we went to Japan, you know, I really wanted to see the cherry blossoms, and my entire family was making fun of me afterwards because we turned the corner. We were walking down this path. We turned the corner into this park where all you saw was all these cherry blossom trees. And I just gasped. And I forget exactly what I said, but they kept making that noise the entire rest of the trip and making fun of me. And I was like, I don't think it's funny, but yes, keep going. They were beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I'm really happy. And we went during spring, so we got to see, you know, they were all bloomed and blossomed, and just, that's why I wanted to get that Fuji floral, you know, painting, because it really reminds me of my time in China. I know it's, you know, it's of a Japanese location, which I know I've seen some other people unbox it, and they've talked about the pandas being in there. And it's funny because, you know, pandas are not really in Japan. They're only in the zoos. And they didn't, you know, go into the zoos till about the 70s. So it's really more of a you know, a China animal that's resident of China, not really Japan. But the Japanese, they really love things that are cute. And so they kind of took to the panda bears. So I understand why Dominic put that in the painting. So I'm trying to think what else. I got done with that symbol. That was awesome. I got done with ease. Let me see, how long have I been on? 26 minutes? Well, that was longer than the first video. You know, I'm going to try to do more editing. It's funny because my first video, it was one cut, one video, no editing. I just said, if I'm going to do this, I just got to do it. And don't rewatch it, just post it. And that's what I did. And I've been so happy. Everyone's been so kind and generous and really supportive. And I really, really, really appreciate it, because I'm enjoying this. It's fun. You know, like I said, I've been on YouTube for a year watching all these creators, and, you know, started becoming really good friends with a lot of them. And, you know, YouTube is, you know, really given me a lot of this past year, you know, the YouTube and just the, you know, the videos. And during the pandemic, you know, having a hobby to do and having, you know, people to listen to, it's been really good. So, but I think that's it. But again, if y'all have any questions about China or anything else about me, please put it in the comment section and I will be happy to answer. Also, I'm curious, if y'all don't mind, where are you from? I'm just curious, you know, the subscribers I have so far, I'm just curious where they're from. So if you want to tell me that too, that'd be great. And I think that's going to be it. Like I said, wish me luck next week. And on my next video, unless I do an unboxing of Fuji Flora, which again is supposed to come today, which I'm super pumped. My next video may not be until I get back. So I'll have to give you all the Disney World scoop and let you know what it was like. Packing for it has been super crazy. It's like, how many masks? You know, because there's 5 of us. It's like, how many masks do we need? You know, how many of this? How many of that? How much sanitizer? So, you know, it's already hard, you know, with 3 kids packing for a trip. And I, you know, I get really anxious. And so I'm just, you know, with the pandemic, it's just kind of made it a little bit scarier. I have to, you know, just want to make sure everybody is safe and that they still have a good time. And I also don't want to be riding them the whole time going, don't touch this, don't touch that, wash your hand. I know, I'm afraid I'm going to be like that. But from what we've heard and what we've seen, it looks like Disney has done a really good job of, you know, making sure the park is clean. And of course, you know, making sure that when we're in line, we'll be distanced. So, and I don't, you know, I expect that from Disney. You know, it's pretty top notch. We've, speaking of Disney, we have been to all of the Disney worlds in the world except for Paris. When we were in Japan, we went to Disney Japan. Shanghai actually opened up. When we were in China, they opened up a Disney there, Disney World, so we were able to go there. And then, of course, we've been to Florida, we've been to California, but we have not been to Paris yet. So that's kind of on our bucket list of something to do. And we're trying to do it now with the kids before they get too old to want to go to Disney. But it's something that we've done several times. It's kind of our family vacation of choice. Disney is amazing. And, you know, the kids know the park, and my boys are old enough now to go off on their own if they want to, which, you know, gives them some freedom and some independence. So it's been a really good experience for us. We actually went last spring break, and we had planned on being at the park just for a few days. and then going on a Disney cruise, which we've never been on one, and we'd given it to the kids for a Christmas gift, and so they were waiting, all that time to go, and then here we were at the park, and that's when the pandemic hit, around March, and we were there, and we started watching the news, and we're like, you know what? I don't think we should do the cruise, and so we decided to cancel it, and, they said we could book it at another time, and they were, and we even left the park. We cut our trip a day short because we just could see it all kind of happening on the news, and it was getting really scary. So, we haven't traveled anywhere in a year. So I'm hopeful that, everything goes okay. We'll see. So, yep, I think that's all. Let me see if I had anything else to talk about. No, I don't think I did. I'm getting through this. I wanted to finish this, which I'm going to finish it in the next 30 minutes probably. I wanted to finish this before we left, but now I'm a little, so I don't like to be without a painting. I always need one, but I do have I have a smaller one that I can do. I've got a Craftibly one that I'm working on in the bedroom, so I can always work on that one still. But I didn't want to finish this too quick, but I also didn't want one unfinished while we were gone. I wanted to complete this one, and I kind of had timed it that way. I'm not doing the chuck along because I knew we were going to be gone for a week. So, plus, I've never done a chuck. I don't own one, and I'm a little intimidated by the confetti. You hear so much about that. So I don't know. And there's been a couple that have kind of, said something to me and spoke to me, but not enough to really buy one yet. So maybe next year. Or no, I think they do it. I think chuck-alongs maybe twice a year. So maybe the next one? I don't know. But I've never owned one. So, another thing about me that I haven't told y'all yet is I am obsessed with mermaids. Love, 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 love mermaids. So I have quite a few Mandy Manzano mermaid pictures. And mermaids from other artists. I know I have a couple from Distracted by Diamonds from Greta Lusky. I just finished one of hers recently. And that was a beautiful painting. And I have one more to do of hers. She came out with a set of 3. And I was only able to snag 2 of the 3. So I still watch Distracted by Diamonds site. And I'm always looking for, that third one. But I don't really have... I'm not really hanging them up anywhere. I just store them in portfolios and put them under my bed. I have a few framed. I have a mermaid. My first one I ever did from DAC. It's in our bathroom. And then I have, like I talked about in my first video, I have a little desk, built-in desk upstairs that's got a little bit of wall space around it. And I have filled it up with all my paintings that I could. And then I've got... let's see, in the kitchen, I don't know if you've probably seen it from DAC. It's a little coffee one. It's real cute. It just says coffee, and it's got, little coffee beans. It's got a heart of coffee beans. I have that one framed in our little coffee station in the kitchen. And I don't really have a whole lot of other ones around the house. I just didn't want to, my husband's super supportive of this, and he loves them. I just, I'm like, I don't know. And the kids are... My poor family, everybody has received one. My daughter gets majority of them because they're little cutesy ones with unicorns or the mermaid ones. She's got one in her bathroom, several in her room. I've done one for, because we've got 2 Boston Terriers. I did one for my middle son for his birthday in August of one of our Bostons. And I just finished our other Boston. I just did a diamond painting, and it's just an Amazon one I found. It's not a custom. And his birthday's in April. He's going to be 16. He's going to be driving soon, which is crazy. And so I made that for him. I've made paintings for every single one of my family members, given them as gifts. I think I've worn everybody out with all the diamond paintings that I have framed and given away. Because, what am I going to do with them? And they're just so pretty. And, I want someone else to enjoy them as well. But I also don't want to put it on them and go, I don't want them to feel like they have to hang it. So my mother-in-law has actually gotten into dime painting. I got her into it. And another cute little thing that has happened recently is one of my daughter's little friends, who's going to be 8 this week. has been seeing me diamond paint recently in the house. And because we just recently started allowing her to have friends over if they wear a mask, because we weren't allowing anyone in the house up until recently. So she's been asking me a lot of questions when she walks by. What are you working on? How do you do that? Can I do one? And I'll let her put down a few diamonds, and I've got her. She's like, you know what I'd really like for my birthday? I'd really like a diamond painting, and I love owls. So I hopped on Amazon right after she said that, and I found a little one for her, and it's got a frame in it. So you got to get people. You got to get them into it. My mom and dad have done several. Like I said, my mother-in-law's into it. So it's really fun to have, you know, family that's also enjoying the hobby, because for like Christmas, I gave them, you know, pens and patty wax and, you know, release papers, just some of the fun stuff that they may not really know about, because they're, you know, pretty novice at, you know, they're not really into it as much as I am. So, but yeah, the addiction is real. It is real. So let's see. I think that's about it. I hope I haven't rambled on too long, but it's been nice just to sit here and, you know, chat with you guys and get this done. After this, I'm hoping that, I don't know, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do next. So the only thing about that Fuji Flora one that makes me a little nervous, I've never done one that big. It's big. I forget the dimensions, but I've done a couple of small ones back to back because I was just trying to get myself ready for it. So, and I'm not doing the chuck-alongs, so maybe I just might, and I love kitting up. Love it. So I might just crack that bad boy open and maybe kit it up. So that way when we get back, I can start working on it. I don't know, because what am I going to do? We leave Saturday. And the day I'm filming this is Wednesday. So I'm going to be done with this soon. Very soon. So I'm anxious to see. I also have a partial that I got. Jenny, the Uncrafty Crafter, also got it. So we both have black and white Boston Terriers. It's that partial. I know Mrs. Coffee had unboxed it on her channel. Super cute. And it's small. So that could be a little in-betweener too that I could do while, maybe before I kit up the biggie. I don't know. Randy, you can call me Butter. We got to talk about that. I was kind of hoping maybe we could do it together, but I don't know if you're ready to do it. I know you're working on one right now. So I'll have to, at some point, give y'all a tour and show you the ones that I have on my wall upstairs in my desk. There's a mermaid one from DIY Moon Shop that I love. It's probably one of my favorites. And I've got, like I said, so many mermaid ones. I just bought the one that they recently came out with, the honey mermaid, that had the mermaid with the, holding the bee with all the honey. So I've got that one, but I've got a ton. Now I will say though, there are some mermaid ones. I don't have them all because there are some that don't have faces. I'm not into the ones without faces. I don't know why. Well, I do to some extent, but it seems really silly. One, I'm just not drawn to those because they don't have a face. But secondly, there was a show on Netflix. It was like a creepy show about a woman that, you know, would come out of the water and she didn't have a face. And I forget the name of it. I'll have to look it up. But I just, especially after watching that, I'm like, okay, I can't do any of the ones that don't have a face. It's just, I don't know. So I'm not really, but at the same time, I don't care for small ones like this that have a face, because if you can see, which I know it's upside down. I'm just working on this last section, so I flipped it upside down. But, you know, when you work on a 52 by 52, you're just not getting the detail in their face. Maybe, you know, y'all are up here, you're further away because you're on a camera, but when you look up close, you know, it just looks like a blob. So that's why I think I like the bigger ones. It's funny, somebody was making fun, Randy made fun of me because I said that this was a snack size. Well, you know, to some people it may not be, but to me it's, you know, one of the smaller ones. I have a Sherry Baldy that's really big that I've done, but yeah, I have two portfolios, one bigger one and one smaller one. I don't remember the dimensions of them, but I have, they're both under my bed, and I just kind of put them underneath there, or I give them away, or I try to frame them around the house. But like I said, I don't have a lot around the house. I just did a Christmas one recently, and I did frame that, and I've got that with the Christmas decorations. So I'm looking forward to putting that out next year somewhere. But I don't know. I gotta decide what I'm gonna do next. But I will have to pull out my portfolios. They're nothing fancy. You know, I just stuck them inside of a black book, but I'll have to show you the ones that I've done so far. It won't be all of them because, like I said, I've given a lot away. And I've tried to take, obviously I try to take pictures of them once I complete them so I can, see what I mean? Look at that. Sometimes the glue dots just love them, but I'm a hard presser. So, but I love the click sound. Did you hear that? So good. Oh, that one wasn't as loud, but yes. I might just finish this if y'all want to hang out longer. I don't know what else I mean, I've got plenty to talk about, but it's a matter of what you want to listen to. So it's funny, my older son, like I said, he's almost 16. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's a streamer, and he does Twitch, and all this. Half of it I don't understand, but he said he wants to be a streamer. He's been really, really helpful, when I can get his attention and when he's not busy doing other things with friends. That I'm like, honey, will you help me, with my channel, and help me with an intro and an outro and make it look really cool. So he's gonna, yeah, he's like, oh yeah, Mom, your next video, I can help you. You just need to do another video, because he wasn't home when I did the first one, and I just, like I said, posted it without editing or anything. So I'm hoping that I have an in-house editor. Maybe he can make it look kind of fancy. Not fancy, because that's not me, but a little more fun. So we'll see if he actually comes through and helps me out with that. But yeah, it's crazy. I was taking everybody to school this morning, and so he's a sophomore in high school. And my other son, my middle son, he's an 8th grader at middle school. So next year he's going to be in high school. And like I said, my oldest is about to get his license. So I was just telling them this morning when I was dropping them both off, I was like, so next year y'all are going to be driving to school together. And of course, they're only 16 months apart, and they're boys, so they're very competitive, and they don't get along for all the time. And of course, they both kind of looked at each other like, ugh, I've got to drive my brother to school. I'm like, yes, you do. Definitely. If you're going to have a car, you're going to be driving your brother to school. So we'll see how that goes. They're total opposites. At least take them in the morning. And then if one of them wants to do something after school with a friend or sports or something, we live really, really close. I mean, very close to all schools, which we're so fortunate. And that's one of the reasons why we picked this house. It's funny, going back to that, we lived in California, when we decided, when my husband's job decided to move us to China. We were living in California, and he was going to China all the time on business. And so I knew it was coming, and he already knew the lay of the land. So that made it a lot easier when we actually went out there. But before we left California and came to China, we needed to make a decision on where we were going to put all of our stuff, and if we were going to move back to California after China, or if we were going to move back home to Texas. So we had 1 week. The kids had it was like ski week or something is what they called it in California. And it was like in February, and we had 1 week to find a house before we left, because we left in March. So we found the house that we're in now, our house in Texas. We had 1 week to find it, and boy, did we luck out. It was an inventory home. It had almost everything it needed. And so my parents were nice. They're about a half a mile from here, which that's really nice too, that they're so close to us. It's been nice to be back, near my folks, that that they were able to take all of our household goods were delivered whenever we were in China, and my parents were all here to accept it. And our first summer back, so we did come home every summer when we lived in China, and we did come home every Christmas. We just felt like it would be it just wouldn't feel like Christmas if we weren't home. And then of course summers, everybody goes home for summers. We would be the only ones there if we stayed there. Everyone went home. So, but our house, back to the kids' school, our house is super close to all 3 of their schools. I mean, all within walking distance. So we really lucked out. And the schools are amazing. So, but of course this year's been, with the pandemic, has been interesting. Whenever the schools went back in session, we kept all of our kids home the first couple of months because we wanted to see, with everybody being back at school, how it was going to go and if the infection rate was going to go up. And we're just, we were kind of doing a wait and see. So we, had all the kids, we did homeschool, and that was fun. So we did that, and then when the next 9 weeks rolled around, they let you make a decision every 9 weeks if you want to homeschool or send them back. So we talked to all 3 kids, and 2 out of my 3 wanted to go back. My older and my youngest. My middle one was like, I'm good. I'm going to stay here. I don't feel comfortable going back. So we let him make that decision. So he stayed home. So it was just him and I during the day. And he's my middle one, and he's my easiest one. So super, super easy. And but unfortunately, his grades were suffering. His grades were awful, and he just needed to be back at school. He knew it, I knew it. So when it was time again, after a couple months, a month and a half, we made a decision for him to go back, and it has been amazing how his grades have improved. So, and he hasn't, everything's been okay. Everybody's been safe. So, but what a scary thing as a parent to have to make that call, whether they stay home or whether they go. So, that's been really hard for, I know, a lot of folks and a lot of parents. It's not an easy decision, and there's no right or wrong answer. There really isn't. I've learned, talking to other moms, over text, just trying to figure out, when they went back, how was it? What'd you do? What do you think? And everyone had a different, it was crazy. Our school district gave us the numbers of what people were deciding every 9 weeks. And it was like split 50-50. There was no right or wrong. Half the people were doing virtual at home, and half the people were sending their kids. And, we are so fortunate that I don't work. And so, but the people that do work, I don't know how they were doing it and how they are doing it. A lot of people are still, they have their kids at home and they have to work. So, yeah, I'm really hopeful that things, start to get better. I'm a little nervous because yesterday our governor of the great state of Texas made an announcement that the mandate for masks was going to be lifted. It has been lifted. So I hope and pray that does not, change things. The schools haven't made any announcements. I haven't heard of anything, changing, but we just told our kids that we just need to be, extra careful if people are, going to stop wearing masks. And that's what we'll have to do. I mean, what else are we going to do? The kids can't be vaccinated right now. Kids don't get the vaccination. I forget what the age is, but my kids are not at that age. They're too young to get the vaccination, which I agree at this point because, there are other people that need it more, that are sick, elderly. I mean, so I understand that. I am on a waiting list, so I have not gotten mine yet. My husband has gotten his, but I'm still waiting. So, yep. I hope everybody stays safe where you are. I hope everybody has not been, hopefully you haven't gotten it or been affected by it. And it's been just a crazy, crazy world lately. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling now because I'm almost done. I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to let y'all, so I'm just going to dip in here. I know y'all do this too. I think it's called fishing, where you just grab one, because you only need one, or so you think. Oh yeah, of course. Yep, 1, 2, 3. 3 different symbols that I've already done. And they're there. They're still there. Yep. All right, guys, how long? This has been 49 minutes. I am proud of myself. I almost did a full hour. I started to get more comfortable as I started talking, so I hope the beginning was okay. Again, I think the more I do this, the better I'll get. I just need to, like the Uncrafted Crafter, Jenny had made a comment. I think it was in her whip and chat yesterday which thank you for the shout out, by the way. Super sweet of you. She had mentioned that, you know, she treats it just like, you know, sitting down with a friend. And, you know, what would you say to them? It's just hard sometimes when you feel like you're talking to yourself. So I just have to get used to, you know, knowing that y'all are there, you're listening. And, you know, maybe I know you're doing your whip right now, hopefully. And hopefully I'm giving you just some help, you know, pass the time and help you work on your projects. That's what, you know, I love listening to whipping chats because that's what they would do for me. It just was, I love just listening to, you know, stories and people's lives, and then you get invested, and I want y'all, you know, to do the same with me, and, you know, update you on things. And oh my goodness, we are almost done. All right. So maybe tell me down in the comments too. I know I'm asking y'all to put all kinds of different things. You don't have to do them all. Pick one or just say hi. But I would like to know where you're from. That would be fun to see where everybody's from. But maybe in the comments you can tell me which one you think I should do next. Should I do the little puppy one? The little partial? Or should I do Fuji Flora? I know you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to do the unboxing. Like I said, I've never done an unboxing before. So I'm a little nervous. I don't know. There's so many good ones out there. I mean, I can chat all day long. But in an unboxing, I don't know. I feel like there's like a certain rhythm and process to them. Not that I have to follow anybody else. I just feel like, you know, everybody does them a certain way. All right. How many do I have left? Oh gosh, that guy's stuck together. And this guy's upside down. Okay. We have 1, 2. Oh, I got an AB coming up. I'm going to leave it to my last one. Oh, I didn't talk about my storage. I did my first video, but I used the Elizabeth Ward. I have a ton of different sizes that are ordered on Amazon. I've got just a drawer full of the small, medium, and the large. So it's been really nice because I can, you know, but with Fuji Flora, there's 65. So that could be tricky, but I do have 2 of these. I've got one downstairs and one upstairs because like I said, I work on 2 paintings at once normally. So I might have to bust out 2 of them. So maybe I should work on my Craftably. I think that's what I need to focus on before I leave. Get that one done. Then I'll have both boxes available because I normally don't have a lot of whips unfinished at one time. I like to feel like I've, you know, completed something and can kind of move on. I normally don't keep a lot of unfinished ones. 2 is the max that I'll do. I don't keep a lot. So I don't know if y'all can hear, but there's some sirens going off. That's because it is Wednesday. Is it 12? It is 12. They do a test of all the emergency sirens. Okay, y'all, this is the last one. And it's going to be an AB. These white ABs, these 141, they're so pretty. I really enjoyed the yellow ones too in this kit. All right. I think I finished. Let's do a little, now I got I have a lot of magnets. I love the magnets. And like I said, I've got some really cute cover minders. And a lot of times I will, you know, dress it up with a bunch of different fun ones. But sometimes my arm hits it and I got really lazy and started just using magnets. I've made a couple of my own cover minders. So I bought a pack of these magnets. They're really strong. They're super strong. All right, let's turn her around. Whoops, I forgot one. Let's take a look. She will not be upside down anymore. Well, hopefully she won't be. Ooh, she's pretty. I'm just kind of looking. I love rubbing my hands on it. You know what I also love is I love getting the roller and hearing the crackle and the pop of any of the drills that need to be pressed down that are not down all the way. Love that. That's normally my daughter's job. I'll leave a finished diamond painting on the dining room table and I'm like, okay, it's your job now. And she just rolls it for me. And then we get the toothbrush and we just scrub it and shine up all the drills. And then we put them away. After I brag to everybody in the family and they kind of look at me and go, oh, okay. Like, you know, they don't really care. No one cares. Oh, I missed one. Why didn't y'all tell me? There's a plus sign right there. Okay, I gotta keep my finger on it. Sometimes you'll miss one. One little guy just hanging out. So I've ordered a bunch of stuff lately that's gonna be coming in. I've got some more stuff from Bella Denical. some stuff that I'm sure you've seen unboxed already. But I'll go ahead and show you guys, you know, just quickly, just what I've been getting. I've ordered a couple new pens. Gosh, come on, Jill. Got 2 new pens coming in. I was super jealous of, you can call me Butter, Randy. She showed some blanks on her channel, some bloom blanks. I don't know if you don't know what those are. It's got the flowers inside. Well, I was on Etsy last night, and Jim's Handmade Pens, he had one for sale. He had a couple. So went ahead and snagged one of those. And I have another pen coming from Diamond Pen Pal. I love these. That's what I'll do in my next video. I'll show you guys how I store all my pens. I've got this fun jar. It's just a glass jar, and I only keep my DAC drills in my extra storage. I've got 2 photo boxes, one square and one round, and I have a jar that I put all my other drills in that are not DAC that I have filled up. It's almost like one of those jars of rice that you see. It looks like that, and it just kind of holds, I just have all my pens just kind of stuck in there, and they all stick out, and it's really pretty on my desk. So next time when I do my unboxing of the pens, I'll show you guys that. So if you want to use that idea, it's a fun way to display your pens. But I'm running out of room. It's getting to the top, and it's pretty tall. So I'll probably have to start another one. And I think flowers were in it originally. It's just a plain glass cylinder. So yeah, I'll show you guys that. Okay, I've almost made an hour. That's pretty good. We'll see what happens when I edit it though, and see how long that takes me, and see if I can figure it out. But like I said, I'll have my resident editor help me. Okay, that's all I have got for today. That was a lot. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm still here. I'm still here. And yeah, thanks again for, I can't believe how many people have already subscribed. I'm just so flattered, and it feels good to be part of the community and be part of, YouTube land. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see, and it's just for fun. This is just purely for fun. All the people I was getting really close to all had channels, and I kind of felt left out. So I wanted one too. And I have to say, it's super fun. It's given me, something to work on. My kids are at school during the day, and I have time. So, and this is what I do anyways. I'm diamond painting, so I might as well, talk to you guys and just let you know what's going on with me. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Again, if you have any questions, comments, just leave them below. My first video, I did not put any links. Like I said, I just popped it up there. This time I'm gonna really try to do a better job of linking everything and making it look a little better. So just give me some time, and hopefully I'll get there. Okay, all right. Well, I will talk to you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Please subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll be notified next time I do a video. Okay, take care. Bye.